Samponda, you forgive me for this. Personally, I tend to think that in most cases in African countries, people who surround the president there and the civil servants, these middle, they are so scared of certain people. To maintain their jobs, they would rather sacrifice the nation. Even when the fella doesn't even know nothing, he will still hang around the president, he will still be there and blocking people. Once we come to a place where we say, I think Mr. Mpondela is better than me, I write a letter of recommendation, sir, may I retire so that Mr. Mpondela can help me? I think when we come to that level, that is maturity. Yeah. But to just think of leaving a Prado, even if I'm seated reading the newspaper upside down, I'm not even hearing anything, I think that's where the problem is.
Yeah.
Please open the lines, Mr. Director, so that we can interact with the people.
We've learnt a lot that Dr. Msongole likes saying no country is disadvantaged by its geographical location.
No.
The problem is in the minds of those people, the leaders that are there. There's no country, and so we shouldn't be where we are, Zambia, because we have all these things. We have we have the minerals, we have the agricultural resources, we have water, we have now we have even developed road network. We have good things now. Thanks to the leadership, we've opened Zambia, and but we'll continue. If we continue thinking small, we continue to see all these things that we've done will have no benefit to the Zambian people. If we continue thinking small, and if we continue believing that it's the same, if we continue believing that everybody can do everything, everybody can. We have to. Even Jesus had to go along the lake shore to choose. You know, Andrew and the brother there, Jesus had to go carefully to pick. It took a movement to pick people that he could work with. And I think it's important at leadership level, wherever we are, whether it's at Zambia Athletics level, where I am, whether it's at leadership of the company, the team that you are working with, it's important to build a cadre of people that will help develop the country. And it's very important to pay attention to what is going on. Because the way we think that things can happen by chance, they will never happen by chance. These reminiscences that we have about how, how Kigali is doing well and how this country is doing well, but we can do better. I mean, Zambia's got a lot of educated people. I think we all have to start with ourselves, as I started. How committed am I to my country? Do I take ownership of anything that is given to me? And because we have a tendency of blaming those up there. But what about me where I am? Are things working where I am? Am I a contributor or a destroyer? But at leadership level also, because we're talking about the country development, this is important now. It's serious business there, because who are you choosing to work with you? Can they help you develop the country? If they can't, choose those that can. And there are so many. We need to begin. Dr. Msongole, you say acknowledge on statistics. Do we even know who did what? We don't even keep records of who was working at Zambia Airways when, who can we ask for advice, who was at National Housing Authority when he was in Mpondela there, you don't know. How many houses did he construct, you don't know. Who was at that company, what did he do, where was the Dr. Mgala when we was at NAPSA transitioning, or Zamtel or National Building Society, what is Kaitano Chungu? We don't know where these people are, and yet they are here, all of them, that can be galvanized and develop this country. This country can move pretty faster. And the other time I offered that I can even help to build teams that can develop the country, because maybe that's where our problem is, the identification of the people. Where are they? Because the resources are there. We need to start, we need to remove all this petty selfishness that seem to linger us. We need because those things don't help the country. Those things will not help the country.
Professor Munkumba says that Magufuli built a team from outside the cabinet he had people that would go there and just go and tell him, sir, this route you are taking, let's take this. And also, you know, I remember when the president, what's his name, of America won the elections. What's his name? Clinton.
Biden? Oh.
Clinton. I was in America. The speech he made up to now, I've not forgotten. You know, he comes there after winning the election, says, the people of America, two things have happened in America. George Bush didn't expect to lose the elections. Bill Clinton didn't expect to win the elections. Now that I've won, I'm like a dog chasing a big truck. I've now caught the truck. I don't know what to do with it. But that was just his humorous moment. If you check, President Clinton brought all these guys who were making a difference out there and said, guys, what should we do about this economy? Look at what he did. They call him a baby boom president.
Absolutely.
Because he fixed certain things.
Absolutely.
Because of the people who qualify.
Absolutely. I mean, like I say, it's not, nothing happens by accident, really. Nothing will ever happen by accident. Everything is caused, and it's caused by people, human capital. And this human capital for Zambia is actually here. And we just need to find where they are. And we shouldn't be where we are. No, we should not, because we have, Kenneth Kaunda did, greatest gift that he gave to Zambia was education. We can criticize him, but he did. He provided all of us an opportunity. And some of us were eating sausage and butter at the university in those times. But I think
provided for by the government.
Yeah, but the point is that he believed in education, and he wanted to expedite the rate at which we'll have graduates from the university that can lead. He created research institutions. Can we go and make those institutions begin to function? He created the NCDP, National Development, whatever it was managing. And we've trivialized so many things. In the process, we've left out quite a lot of things. And along the way, we trivialize on our own. We've done damage to ourselves. And it's time we redeemed ourselves. We still have an opportunity because we are people. Educated people are here. And there are also those who are naturally educated. God gifted them with wisdom.
With the skills.
With the skills and wisdom. And all those can be harnessed to. But like nothing happens by chance. The people who do things will not appear from nowhere. They are sought. And so they appeal to those of you who are in government. There are people out there. Can we begin to go backwards and see how many people have we brought out of the university that are churned out?
You should be saying there are people out here.
Yeah, I'm one of them. Pastor, I said from the beginning that certainly I've always said
offered
that, Lord, here I am, send me. And send me. And I've always accepted wherever I've been sent. I talked about the boards, they appoint me, I go. And smaller things I go, but I can do greater things as well. I can multiply my capacity and mobilize other groups of people, and we can do great things.
In other words, let me put this example. In you, there is the engine of a Mercedes-Benz, but Zambia thinks you are a Vitz.
That's where the problem is, and therefore the body that is given to me is that of a Vitz. And so the 8-cylinder engine is not pumping
V12.
V12, and so it was the V12, and it's
been confined to a Vitz.
To the VIX, and there are so many of those V12 engines in this country. Really, my appeal to leaderships, just open up a little bit. You will find there are so many V12 here in this country. Let's search for those people. They are the ones that will help develop this
country. Let's ask the members of the public, Camnet TV viewers, please give us your views. How can we build this nation? How can we come together? Forget about which party you belong to. Forget about, we're talking about building the nation as a family. give us a call, and may the Lord bless you. Give us a call on 0968 675 273. And if you want to write a text, the number is on the middle, 0962 965 883. Mr. Director, if there is any text, let me read it. And also, there are those that are advanced from Chinsali and the Northern Province who know how to use Zoom, unlike our friends from Eastern Province. They are still figuring out how to use Zoom. Give them the password and the ID for Zoom so that they can call. In the meantime, give us text messages if they are there. Good evening, Pastor Chiluba and Mr. Mpondela. One thing I will not forget about Dr. Kaunda is how he fought very hard on what he called the 5 areas of human endeavors: disease, hunger, poverty, ignorance, and above all, exploitation of man by man. This is David Zulu Kitwe, the future capital city of Zambia. I like that. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Pastor. How are you?
We are permanently blessed and highly favored by God. How are you too?
We are fine, sir. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Who is calling?
Mr. Banda,
From where?
within Osaka.
Mr. Banda, please go ahead and speak to the nation.
Mr. Mpondela, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, Mr. Banda?
I always follow this program. You know, Pastor should be bringing such programs each and every time. Because it's very educative. And, you know, like Mr. Mpondela put it, you know, these people in high office, there's too much vakandile. You know, a candile will never tell you the truth. Because like you put it, Pastor, like, you know, these people, they are scared because of their job. They are scared to advise their bosses to say, no, yes, sir, you are wrong. They would rather keep it wrong, which is not supposed to be the case. So what we want is these people in our office should open up, bring in new ideas like Mr. Mpondela is putting it, so that we can move forward as a country. I think in that way we are going to move forward. As it stands, there are too many candidates in our office, hence the problem we are facing now. That's my contribution.
Thank you so much. You're saying there are too many, thank you, Mr. Banda, is saying there are too many candidates. You know candidates, Vatu Chawa. In Bemba we call them Vakwindi Muriana Kuputako. Akusuma Aputa, so that I will Bukari. Philadelphia Kwevat. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's one thing that Mr. Siame taught me at Mutende. If those candiles, you know, then what Mr. Siame would do, you create an opportunity to call the candile and you and say, Mpondela, this one was saying this about you. And also, I think what I learned from him also, who is saying what and about what. Mr. Siame was extremely attentive. First of all, he's alive. Yes, he's alive. He knew each one of us by name, and therefore he understood us and our intentionality, and he mastered each one of us, and he tried to cut Ukandile. Mr. Siame didn't allow anybody to influence him in a very negative way about anyone. Or I remember one day going there and said, sir, we want to create, can we create, I was personal assistant, executive assistant, after Mr. Fisher Male, who I pray must recover quickly. And, you know, after Mr. Mwinga, Mr. Mwinga, that's
Mr.
right.
Mwinga was
Larry Mwinga.
He was at Zambia State Insurance?
No.
That's Dr. Mwinga.
Larry was to work. So it's
let's pick up this call. You finish. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is John. I'm calling from Isaka.
You are John?
One of the former councillor in Taganga. I worked with Mr. Mpondela
when he initiated the SOS housing unit.
You worked with John, the former councillor?
Yes, former councillor in Chazanga.
Yeah.
I worked with Mr. Mpondela. Yeah, when he initiated the housing unit in SOS. And I could say that he had that passion. Because even me, by then, I was in opposition as the first councillor under Mr. Satadele. And people could trouble me to say, can you get the plots in that area? And I was refusing because I knew what would come in the future for that area. I can tell you and testify that I came out without any plot in Chazanga. But I'm not longer in Chazanga, I'm in Chalala. Now my point is, the other observation is, because I've been in the council for 5 years, for the burial site for the president, this is my take. That burial site we have created, only President Kaunda was supposed to sleep there or be buried there. The rest of these presidents we have buried there, they were supposed to be buried in their provincial areas where they are coming from, so that we even inspire young ones in those areas. For example, Sata came from Muchinga, and where I met him. Sata was supposed to be buried in Muchinga. We are supposed to take a burial site for the president in Muchinga, so that the next president who are going to come from Muchinga be buried that site. Because very soon that burial site will be very soon. Where are you going to bury the next president? Like the Rupias, who is Naimbuya. Where are you going to bury them? Because the others will say, others to bury them here. Then where are you going to take it as a list? Now, coming to COVID, also our government, I'm talking as a politician, our government should create a memorial site for the COVID-19 death we are experiencing, so that in the future our children can learn about COVID, where it came from. Now the way we are doing Changanya, we are burying anywhere, we can't even create a memorial site for the COVID-19. It always puzzled me. Lastly, Mr. Mpondela, with you and me and the Pastor Chiva there, I have a vision that one day we can put our way to buy tourist building in Livingstone, so that people, once they visit Livingstone, they are able to see Victoria Post down there. That has been my dream. And I hope it will come out and you are going to record it. I'm a former councillor, but a lot of things to talk, but it puzzled me. Thank you very much.
I hear you. Have you heard what Jonas said?
Yeah. About the iconic, the Burj Khalifa, which will be the Zambia, building, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, and we create, I don't know.
So that when you're on top, you can view Victoria Falls from.
All that is possible. Every country has created an iconic building. If you go to Chicago, you find one of the tallest building in there.
Sears Tower.
That's
I went in there.
You went in there. If you go now Malaysia, there are those twin towers. But they have created now a new one, by the way.
Really?
That is taller than the twin towers, just next there. And if you go to China, the Shanghai, there is a Pudong. In Pudong, there's another building there that is... so every country has an iconic building that attracts people. When we say iconic, just like we are building the Mulungushi International Conference there, an iconic, it's not tall. But I think the point he's making there, the councillor, is we work together, Chazanga, there's Northgate Gardens there. When you're asking me, I can also be housing, I did housing there. I created quite something. I did roads, I did housing. So I'm very proud of my small contribution to the nation in my own private life as an employee of those organizations that gave me an opportunity to serve. And,
but John believes that we can create a Dubai.
Yeah. But it's my belief. Why do I continue preaching about Dubai? I started going to Dubai in 2003. It was sand. Burj Khalifa was not there. Most of the place there was sand.
Really?
Oh yeah. If you go to
1974, we were better than Dubai.
Absolutely. So we were talking about Singapore 1964 together. we're talking about the mines, which we still talk about. We have the potential there. We talk about agriculture, which we still talk about. You and I talk about that. Flowers, we started, a few people played in there and they left, you know. So I think that we must mismanage ourselves. We failed to manage ourselves, and it's time we picked up what the matchets again and take our horse and begin to drive the country differently. And we can
take
do it.
Take off the suits and put on
and
the overall.
We can do it. And in terms of the value, I think those ones are, the council, since he's a councillor, those can be best answered by the council,
politicians,
by the politicians themselves. And but he
has a point.
He has a point.
If Jesus doesn't come, there are 10 presidents to be buried there. Where will you squeeze them?
Another site to be found.
I just see that they will close one lane as you go to State House and make it one way, so that they extend that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are so grateful,
A
John.
little bit difficult to comment on that one.
Let's get to the text messages, Mr. Director. Good evening, Pastor Joe and Mr. Mponda. One thing, you gave us this one, thank you. You gave us this one, it was the first one. That's the one we read, Mr. Director. Okay. Evening, Pastor Chuva, the most thing which I will never forget about our founding father is the way he introduced humanism and patriotism, and he taught peace and unity. As Zambians, now we are proud because of his hard work. May the soul of our founding father rest in eternal peace. I am Alfred from Furira Copper Belt. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Pastor Chuba and Mr. Have you seen the way he has written your name? Anyway, that's Mr. Mpondera. I thank you for bringing in such important program. We need more and more of your wisdom. As youths, we need your guidance. God bless. Let's pick up one more before. Okay. Talking about the youths, Mr. Mpondera, I'm a firm believer. I am a firm believer that telling the boys that, and the girls that we are going to create jobs, we'll create jobs, I think it's retarding their minds. You know, you talked about the arable land that we have. Why not push? You went to the national service. Why not just get 1 hectare, 10 boys, 1 hectare, 10 girls, and you say, let's change Zambia? Do they have to go looking for jobs? Every one of us getting the jobs. Isn't Zambia bigger now for?
Yeah, I think we need to change a strategy on how we want to create job opportunities. And your passion for agriculture is one, which basically is the locomotive of others, because agriculture can absorb quite a lot of people in the manner that you are describing. And even where we are in Mpulungu Harbour, we want to export a lot to the Great Lakes region, and we believe that the World Food Program, which has signed the contract, big contract, with the the organizations that are in there, if we can produce a lot here, I think we can. Mpulungu Harbour is sufficiently positioned to take the cargo to the other place. So we need to work on agriculture. It can create a lot of jobs. And I think we have attempted to do many things as government initiatives. And those things, many of them have worked only for a little while. The problem is that when we start things, monitoring also becomes a problem.
There is no follow-up.
The monitoring becomes a problem, and those of us who borrow the money along the way we misuse. But just there is no seriousness along the way. This ownership we are talking about, because how is it that other countries succeed on same things? You know, how is it that we cannot succeed? I think there's some are lazy, but there are equally some people that are willing to work.
But lazy,
we need
most of the Zambians, Mr. Mponda, I know you are being a diplomat, but most of us are lazy.
Yeah, okay, so we are lazy, but we can also be made not to be lazy. But by creating conditions that should enable us to work. You know, when the nation is mobilized, the same way Dr. Kaunda mobilized us to the national service, he mobilized all of us. From 5 straight, we went. You can't come to the university if you had no certificate of attendance, national service. Basically, it's a policy of government. When policies are put in place that create various you know, institutions that will absorb capital and create opportunity for the young people, really those opportunities can be created. Really we can create, agriculture can absorb so many people. And, and I think that it's, if we think God from heaven will come and create this economy differently, then he's not likely to come. If we think, if we go to pray at the cathedral, and therefore God will then come and create jobs, he will not create jobs. Jobs will be created by the initiatives you are creating, the September, you know, conference on agriculture that is coming, but more importantly, the government-driven, you know, policies that that enable, that create what we've been calling enabling environment. Don't just create enabling environment, make it happen. And we can make it happen. We need captains of the economy to begin to make things happen in the country. We shouldn't be spectators as well. When we talk about, you remember we said Kaunda industrialized. He created the middle income group among the Zambians, and we know them. We can do that if only we open up a little bit and less belief that government can do everything. Government cannot. Government must create opportunity, and that opportunity must be harnessed by the people. But there must be captains that are ensuring that things are happening. So, I think,
you know, Mr. Mpondera, what you are saying, it is actually the truth. There is no nation that can develop by foreigners. I always believe this. Zambia will be developed by Zambians. I like the passion you have. You talk about Mr. Siame, the late Mr. Njovu, the people who mentored you, you know. And here you are now, you are a board member of several companies, and you sit in here. What can stop you from developing this nation? You know, there is a saying in Bemba, ati nsoni ebuntu. Umuntu nsoni nga shapwa nenshi ubuntu bwafumamu. Because nga tatule mfu nsoni ukwe ati tetinde kose rafe ku Dubai, tetinde kose rafe kulia. Why can't you create your own?
well, I think that the kind of at Mpulungu Harbour we are there's a saying we are making with activation on Mpulungu beyond the harbour. You know, we are saying that look, we need to create a 4th generation port from Mpulungu to handle cargo of various types, and for any cargo from any, you know, where in the world, to even from Dubai that comes through Dar es Salaam, and it can come.
Are you saying that through Dar es Salaam we can have access to the ocean?
Yes, of course. From you know, Mpulungu is on is an inland, the only inland port in the Great Lakes region from Zambia too. But you see, when you go by road, you go to Dar es Salaam, to the sea. So from Tanzania, there's still a road that comes to Kasanga. But we can also create our own road through Kasesha that goes to Tanzania, that goes to the ocean there. Yeah. So, but in Mpulungu, we want to position it as the many, you know, inland port that can handle a lot of cargo of various types. Even that which comes from South Africa shouldn't necessarily go by road to that. It can come to Mpulungu, and we, you know, but we need to create the facility that can handle that. And this is where we are trying to create a 4th generation port that should handle any type of cargo. And we believe that when we do that, we can create jobs. But more importantly, for Mpulungu, when we say activation of Mpulungu beyond the harbour, is that, you know, those who have been to Doha or even Dubai, you see the way the shores of Pulungu are. It's created in such a way that we can have a lot of hotels there, a resort. Pulungu can act as a very beautiful place for, hotels, resort areas there, So we have places that, like Samfya is turning into now. You see, and this is the problem we have in Zambia. When we talk about Samfya, it will be Samfya. And yet we can do Samfya. We're doing Pulungu. We're doing Livingstone. We've done. People are tired of Livingstone. I mean, it's a small place, so we need to create a chain of things happening in the country if we want to get Pulungu. I mean, Zambia as a hub of tourism and entertainment facilities on the lake.
Dr. Kaunda tried to create...
He tried to create that. So
tourism by going to Mfue, Kasaba Bay.
But all those things that destroyed that, he was not there. So he was a great leader, that man. Because he showed the way. He did not talk. He did. And he did not say, go to Mfue. He went.
He went. Go to Kasaba Bay.
He went himself. And so he led by example at all times. He really led by example. So...
I want you to, as we come to the close of this program, Mr. Mpondela, before you say one or two things, I want you to see what Julius Malema said about President Kaunda. I think I was touched to know that this man was an icon. And Mr. Director, give me that clip. Thank you.
I mean, he was a leader to the end, a man who went to Zimbabwe at his age, underground, quietly, to persuade his peers to do the right thing. And we have what we have now in Zimbabwe as a result of an old age intervention. We have this democracy, we owe it to him.
Yeah.
I mean, Lusaka, the headquarters of Mkhonto weSizwe, is as a result of this man who allowed our people to go and stay there, to even establish the headquarters there. Something that you guys are not doing.
But
when you see Zambians today, you want to ban them, you call them names. When they allowed you to stay in their country, when people were bombed in Lesotho, killed innocent Lesotho people, when today come to us to look for greener pastures, the same way we went to them to look for a democracy from their countries.
Yeah.
Today we call them names. So we should learn from Kenneth Kaunda that artificial borders should never define us. That's why at his age, he was pained by what was happening in Zimbabwe. And he compromised his retirement to go and resolve those issues. Why? Zimbabwe is Zambia, and Zambia is Zimbabwe, because we are one thing.
Have you heard, Mr. Mponda?
Yes,
Julius says we have created artificial
yes.
borders.
Yes.
Dr. Kaunda did something.
And that was his quest. When he started, first of all, by uniting Zambia, one nation. And I think he went ahead to ensuring that all the neighboring countries were rebelated. He did not also, he also concerned about Palestine. Yasser Arafat was his friend. So that's the leader that really walked out of the comfort zone of Zambia and envisioned that if all countries were comfortable, if all neighboring countries to Zambia were independent, and if the world was independent, what a greater world it would be. So his vision was beyond just the Zambia and Africa. It was global, and he didn't want to speak. He acted, and that's his character and stature in terms of foreign policy and how he was envisioned by the world is reflected by how many leaders came here. I mean, when that time the Kissingers I mentioned at the beginning, Henry Kissinger could not just come to you. I mean, those crooked, they could not just come here. And Queen Elizabeth, the non-aligned movement that Kaunda hosted, great things that he did. And for what Malema is saying all those countries. I went to the nation service for that purpose, to fight, to liberate South Africa, Zimbabwe, Angola, and Mozambique. I went to the national service, and many of my colleagues
People
went.
like Yasser Arafat, Gaddafi, they all were coming
exactly.
here.
And that's why when Mandela came out of jail, look at the movement of Mandela, Free Mandela.
The first
It was
country,
a castrated, first country was here.
Zambia.
Because there was this statesman called Kenneth Kaunda. We may not go back to Kenneth Kaunda, but there are those big lessons he is left with us that we need to harness and learn from to develop our country. It's a love for the country, ownership, you know, trust in the spirit of unity, you know, and growing the market, which is why he wanted everybody to be. And he paid attention to agriculture. He paid great attention, even great attention to education. And
can we create millionaires in Zambia?
By all means, we can create if we become more prudent than we are.
I feel so embarrassed to hear when they are giving statistics that there are over 5,000 millionaires in America and over these billionaires, and in Zambia we don't even have those statistics, you know.
Well, because I think that we've trivialized ourselves. We have this, every institution was created to further the development of the country. In terms of research, the research institutions are there. Are we making use of them? University teaching hospitals created. There's nothing that Kaunda didn't touch. The mineral, you know, exploration, you know, there is geological survey here. You know, to deal with the emeralds, it created Zambia emeralds. What did we do with it? We vandalized it and just killed it. So there's nothing that it didn't do to create a platform for Zambia's takeoff.
Even
we may criticize him, but why didn't we learn from what we found?
Numbered for agriculture.
Numbered for agriculture. I mean, and we've gone there and playing around. You know, we've, you know, national, you know, NCZ, National Nitrogen Chemicals of Zambia. It created all these big things that were to be used to step up the industrialization of Zambia. Really, it did. And we must apologize. We killed these things, and we are trying to rebuild them at a more costly, you know, price than if we had harnessed what he had created and built on them in order for us to move forward.
And the international crooks and saboteurs have taken advantage of our ignorance.
Yes.
By bringing things like fertilizer when we have NCZ.
Yes.
And all that.
It's our wish. We may blame Dr. Kenneth Kaunda that he was not saving money for repair. Was he the one who was to repair? When we came, didn't we find that thing was there? It was there. Yeah. And what did we do? I mean, so I think that looking to the past and continue blaming, I think is unfair. We must begin to take actions today that must reverse any negative effects that have been created along the way in our development process. And I think that the lessons to learn are so many. Authenticity, I think passion, you know, love for the country and for the people, you know, goodness for everyone. He never had an agenda, hidden agenda for himself. He didn't create Turiba Turia so that it's something that benefits him. These are things that we have to learn, that never can help development. They can't help development because we become narrow-minded. Kaunda was open-minded. He wanted an open situation. He didn't believe that the economy must be held by one pillar. Although at that time it was the mining sector, one pillar, which was 5% driving 95%. He believed that, you know, tourism, okay, you know, agriculture could also drive the economy. And we came in with new technology. Surely we should have done much better.
Absolutely.
And we still have an opportunity. We really have an opportunity to still drive this country differently.
That's right. We are so grateful, Mr. Mpondela, that you could come. This is your station. This is your nation. How I wish one day you could be Minister of Finance or Agriculture, or one of these ministers. It's just my wish. With all your friends, let's have these people. But all those things, they come from God, who appoints leaders and who have eyes to see who can be where. I am so grateful. Tomorrow we'll be putting to rest one of the soldiers of Calvary.